This is Lee Sterling at ParamountSports.com. Today, I'm going to break down the season and give you what I think is going to happen with the Missouri Tigers football team. Now, last year started off pretty strong, and then they hit a period in the middle of the season where they couldn't stop anyone, and then finished up, had the upset of Florida, and got to the bowl game. But they need to keep improving if this third-year coaching staff wants to hang around. So I think it all starts at the quarterback. And you got two guys that looks like will be vying for the position. It's going to be Brady Cook. He will take over unless all of a sudden Jack Abraham, who was before originally at Southern Miss and most recently at Mississippi State, can challenge him. So I noticed watching the spring game and looking at these two guys' arms, and when they play anyone decent, they're going to have trouble throwing the ball down the field. I mean, they can hit on the short stuff, the flanker screens, the slants they're pretty good at, but anything down the field more than 10, 15 yards is going to be a problem against, the top teams. I'm talking about, like the Alabamas, the Texas A&Ms, the Georgias, anyone on that level. They're going to have trouble scoring more than 2 touchdowns. Now, running back, Tyler Batty was amazing last year, over 1,000 yards. Nathaniel Pete takes over. It looks like he'll be the starter. He transferred in from Stanford. I think he's okay. Better returning kicks and punts and probably being a 3-down running back. Maybe they rotate a couple different guys, and I think there'll be a big downgrade there at the running back position. Now, the one position I do like is wide receiver position. They have a true freshman, Luther Burden, number 3. He's going to be an NFL player. I think he's the best freshman receiver in the country. He is that good. Big, strong, fast, and he's a human highlight reel. So you want to have fun, watch this kid, number 3, Luther Burden. Also got a transfer in Mookie Cooper from Ohio State. And the head coach, Drinkwitz, done a really good job in his staff recruiting the St. Louis area. They recruited a couple of the top high schools there really well. The problem is, outside of that, they really, they have had trouble going into Texas, Oklahoma, some of these other states, and really getting the top athletes. So the receivers will be good, but and the offensive line's okay. I think they'll score some points against bad defenses, but against any top level defense, they're going to have some real problems. They could throw 2-3 interceptions in that game, especially if they fall behind. Defense, this is the real problem. I like their 2 defensive ends. They've actually got 3 or 4 guys they can rotate in and are good, but their defensive tackles are terrible. I mean, just not up to SEC quality. And the 3 most important positions, I say this over and over again, is quarterback and defensive tackles. Why defensive tackles? Because those 2 guys can stuff the run, and if they stuff the run, they're going to probably be able to collapse the pocket, and on 3rd and long situations, make it easy for the defensive backs to cover people. So they're really weak in these positions. In fact, probably the only other team on their level is Vanderbilt. Everyone else is 2-3 steps above that. So their linebackers, they got to transfer in from Florida, who played most of the second half of the season, who'll be pretty decent. But other than that, they just can't stop good teams. In fact, teams ran for 5.3 yards per carry on this defense last year. In the middle of the year, one of the games they gave up, I think, 62 points or something like that to Tennessee, and even some mediocre teams they gave up mid-30s. So that's a real problem. They couldn't stop anyone. That's why you couldn't tell how bad or how good the secondary was. People didn't even waste their time. They just ran on them. And here maybe is the biggest problem on top of talent. Their new defensive coordinator, Blake Baker. Where is he from? Most recently, Miami and Louisiana Tech. Not very good. He is not SEC caliber as far as a defensive coordinator. I think they went on the cheap here. Not a great recruiter either. So with possibly, outside of Vandy, the worst quarterback defensive tackle combination, and that defense, it's going to be a tough season here. I think Missouri can win 5, maybe if everything goes right, 6 games maybe, but I haven't pegged for 5 wins. I think Eli Drinkwitz and his staff are going to end up getting let go at the end of the year, even though I think they should probably give him a year. Could be a tough season for the Missouri Tigers. You want to hop on board, you're interested in football, we study, we provide results like no one else, 27 winning seasons, just one place, ParamountSports.com.